Thanks for joining us again for my conversation with Deanna Shoss. We call this episode Letting Go of the Outcome. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan, and this is From Upside Down to Right Side Up, Tips for the Transition. It is my pleasure to share inspiring stories like Deanna's. These women have figured out how to move through life's inevitable trials and tribulations and come out on top in triumph. They help us to know that we're not alone when our own world turns upside down. Deanna told us about her dream to have a child and struggled with infertility. She also has gone through a couple of other things that she's going to talk more about today, as well her breast cancer and her back surgery. Any one of those events could derail the strongest among us. It took Deanna a bit, but she figured it out. Hello, Deanna.
Hi, Maria.
We talked a little bit about what went on with you. So I know that all of this must have taken you on a huge journey of emotions. I would love for you to tell us a bit more about that and tell us why it is so important for you to learn to let go of the desire to have a child.
Okay. So I will tell you about my back surgery. I do, just for context, because I'm particularly proud of this. So I am also a certified body pump instructor, which is some pretty, heavy weightlifting. I teach regular fitness classes during the week. And the reason that I'm so proud of that is because I barely actually had time to recover from having the amazing baby, Luca. When he was only 3 months old, I actually ended up with a herniated disc. And it was because it turned out that I had arthritis in my spine and didn't know, and the stress of the pregnancy and birth caused a disc to herniate. My husband was in Germany. My mother-in-law was visiting from Brazil and had to be at the airport, I think at 4 the same day that I got rushed by ambulance from the physical therapy office to surgery. And it was really crazy. I couldn't walk. I could not stand up. So you talk about something really powerful and immediate where you have to let go. I had to trust that things were going to be okay. I was literally and also I would say it's also good to just nurture all of your relationships in the world, because I was at one hospital not knowing what to do, where someone in my family was able to arrange for me to get transported to a hospital that had the best back surgeon in the Chicagoland area. So I was so grateful for that. But clearly, and this is something that's so immediate that you just have no control over what the outcomes were. You just have to get through. Sometimes you have to get through the hard part. I had to get through the surgery. Like, there's no managing the surgery. That you just pray and you get through. Did that, but it was interesting just with Luca being a newborn, there was so much that could have happened. There's the bonding part when he's only 3 months old. I was fortunate. I chose to keep all of my options open, which is a big theme for me. I'm going to keep all my options open, which means I pumped and dumped breast milk while I was going through the surgery and all the medication, in the hopes that Luca would readapt to breastfeeding, which was really important. Made it through the surgery, came home. My husband came back from his trip, but I was literally on my back. We had a futon in the kitchen that it was like a couch, a day couch that we opened, and I was literally on my back for 30 days, for the first 30 days of recovery, with a 3-month-old baby. My husband's fabulous. My partner in all of this actually took 30 days off work so that he could care for me, and literally brought Luca to me every time that it was time to feed. So that was my biggest role at that point. what's interesting, so when it was time, I started physical therapy because I also believe, Marie, that it's the idea, like, if you want to catch the bus, they always say, if you want to catch the bus, pray you'll catch the bus, but then run as fast as you possibly can. You've got to do what you need to do as well. And so when I started physical therapy, my physical therapist was wonderful, and she was working with me on things like, how can I lean over the edge of the bathtub to be able to hold Luca? How can I go from sitting to standing with Luca, with the bad back? And she was teaching me all these things, and it was really great. And I remember finally I said to her, I said, Sue, here's the thing though. This is all really fabulous, but you know what I really need to get back doing? I said, I need to get my cartwheel back because every year on my birthday, I always go to my front yard. I do a cartwheel, or the first day of spring. I just did one last week. My annual cartwheel was like my rite of spring passage. And that was really important to me, was to be able to get back to do my cartwheel.
Yeah.
And it was funny. She said, I don't know about that, but the idea of the absurd, if you can do anything, why not imagine something big that you can do?
That's an important message, I think, Deanna. You have such a resilience about you that it's totally inspiring to me. I do these conversations with women to inspire others, and I'm almost always the first to be inspired. So I would love to hear more about, it must have been very scary for you to suddenly be taken to the hospital and having surgery. But your approach to that was remarkable, I think, that there was nothing you could do to manage it, so you just let go. It was another example of letting go, even through the fear, I'm sure. So tell us a little bit about, now, when did the breast cancer come about?
So I am now 3.5 years clear with the breast cancer. And it came about, I actually was in for my regular mammogram. And I always joke that mammograms are those things that other people have to do, that other people do. It's just the medical industrial complex, as a way to make money by forcing women to do mammograms. And so I went in for mine. I scheduled it at 8:30 and had a 10:30 business meeting with a client. And at 8:30 they came in, they did it. They said, I think something looks funny. The doctor wants to look. They kept wanting to do one more thing. And by the time it was getting close to 10, they're like, are you sure? Do you want someone to come? Do you want someone to be with you? And I remember just saying, no, I just want to leave. I want to go to my meeting. The most shocking thing, I guess, at that moment was the doctor saying to me at my regular appointment was, I need to have this biopsy. I believe that it's cancer. And I remember I asked her, I said, well, what would you say if the biopsy came out negative? And she said, I would say that the test was wrong. Like, she was so positive that I had breast cancer. And it's almost, Maria, like the same time, the night at the restaurant with my husband, where I'm looking in the mirror going, I'm not going to be a mom. I'm not going to have a child. I remember at that moment going, oh my God, I have breast cancer. I have breast cancer. And so from there, I actually literally did go to my meeting. I did have another appointment scheduled with the doctor. At this point, and I'm smiling now because I feel like it's almost like, I guess you do it enough, and maybe that's a good message there, is that the more that you become resilient and know that these are the facts that I'm going around it, the easier it gets. Because when I was with the surgeon saying, yes, it is breast cancer, yes, you do need surgery, there were two things that I did. One was, it was my mom's 80th birthday. I was scheduled to leave for Paris in like 10 days. So my first question was, okay, I have cancer, but can I go to Paris? The answer was yes. And the second one was, and I'm going to tell you maybe too much to share. You can't actually see below here, but I have been like a triple D since I was like 10. And so, getting older, I just remember when they told me that I had cancer, my first thought was, well, you know what? I'm going to have better boobs coming out of this than I went going in. And so because they needed to take out the lump and things wouldn't look right, I was able to do a reconstruction and a breast reduction. And if I can say this, I hope I won't regret it on camera, but I have like the best boobs I've ever had.
You can say anything you can say.
I'm making myself blush.
You know what comes out of this story for me, Deanna, is your remarkable attitude, the positivity, and not only the positivity, but the possibility that you just see things, life's going to throw stuff at you, and you have a way about you that just wants to figure it out. Because nothing's going to keep you down. I love that about you. I've said it before, I'm so inspired by you.
So thank you.
And I love it when women come on this show and they bare their souls to help others know that they're not alone. So I want to thank you, Deanna, for bearing yours.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
It's my pleasure. So let's talk about, in our next segment, let's talk about what you've learned from all of this. I know you're going to have some really great words of wisdom. So will you come back and tell us that?
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Perfect. So stay tuned, everyone, again, for the continuing conversation I'm going to have with Deanna Shoss. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan. Till next time.